It's the Bears and the Seahawks on
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Takes it at the 7. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On first down, McConnell. And incomplete on the deep ball. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
From the gun on third down, McConnell. And fights him off. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
The Seahawks send out their punter. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
And the Bears take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Keep playing hard.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. Right back to him on first down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
2nd and 11 now. Now Fields.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And going deep for Hill.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow.
Let's go.
A huge play there for Chicago.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
And that one covering an even 63 yards in the air.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. A handoff for Gibson.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Here's Fields.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right through. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
From the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their 2nd straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Running from the gun with Henry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Now a man open down the middle of the field.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far. First play of the drive, a first down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The clock running here. Under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. From the 50, here's Fields.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again is Fields.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wheeler. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. The Bears on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Fields.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely on line. It just needs a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
From the gun, McConnell.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From the 10.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fielded right around the 8. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Fellas.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
On first down, it's Fields.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hill. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Fields tapping it forward. Jet sweep.
Looking for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McConnell. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr.
7 yards, the pickup there.
Off play action. McConnell.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Let's go.
They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. A huge play there for Chicago. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Here's a give to Gibson.
And they'll get this down to the 10.
There you go. Got him again. Got him again.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Fields.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's...
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry shedding the tackle and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
They go play action here on first down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Operating from the gun, McConnell.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Seahawks on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now a handoff to Henry.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7.
Back to throw. McConnell. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
On third down, Henry. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines.
Let's go, baby.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Throwing again on second down. Fields. This is Smith with a grab. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
On first down, Fields. That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
and maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. They run on first down with Henry, but the hole evaporates quickly as he'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Running left, it's Henry. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. In the early window, lots of good matchups to choose from. We'll highlight the game in Detroit. A big one for the Lions, as they'll have to do battle with the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Then, later in the afternoon, we highlight that game going on in Houston, where it'll be the Texans taking on the Buffalo Bills. And lastly, Sunday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the LA Rams. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Back to throw, Fields.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Out of the gun, Fields.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And going deep for Hill. And this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Now it's Fields.
Flush to his right. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the 1st down. 2nd time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Here's Fields.
He finds his man, complete. That's Wheeler.
And he will have the Bears' 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Wheeler. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
To throw is Fields.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Fields now to throw.
Eluding the pressure right. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
This red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
They'll look to throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Keep playing hard.
And we will get another look at Seattle's offense.
Hey, here we go. Choose the mic.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. They'll run it again with Henry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 86 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McConnell, this complete to Lockett. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. On 2nd down now, it's Henry. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Throwing on 1st down. McConnell. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. To throw again. McConnell. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Back to throw. McConnell. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick here is good. And that will tie things at 17 all.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Keep giving it to him. Come on, keep giving it to him. Let's go.
We got this.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They'll run on 1st down. It's Gibson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
That's what I'm
The
talking
tackle
about.
credited to
That's it,
Deshaun
buddy.
Elliott, the safety.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. Throwing on third down, Fields.
Hard throw, incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals, just something magical about breaking that barrier.
And he's right there on the doorstep now.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
On 1st and 10, McConnell. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's got Smith here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43.
Choose the mic. Blue down, blue down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. McConnell. And that's incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Off play action, Fields.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
On 2nd and 10, Fields.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They begin with Henry. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
2nd and 4.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A give to Henry. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The Seahawks on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
On 1st down, McConnell, quick hitter here, it's complete. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21. And the busy night for Henry continues. He stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. From the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. And his kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now Fields and the Bears down 23-17. 1:52 to play.
How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. He's back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They'll look to throw. Try to lay one up deep.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off down at the 2.
And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are.
They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Henry. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, Henry. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over first and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. It's caught. Smith stays on his feet. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
One last throw here for Fields.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. That is caught. Touchdown, and no time remains. And they're an extra point away from winning this football game. The kick is good, and can you believe this? They win it with zeros on the clock. Well, this was a game we'll have in the memory banks for a while. The winning touchdown at the end, and then they had to get that extra point. You know, the knees were shaking. But he put it through, and boom, a dramatic victory.
And just remember, prior to 2015, that